Hey everybody, how are we doing? It is Friday morning. We are streaming on Twitch and we are streaming on YouTube, checking out this multi-stream thing. You might be checking this out in the future, who knows? Or you're watching it now. If you're watching it now, good to have you here. But we will be playing Twitch. We will be playing on Twitch later today. We'll be playing Kahoot. So check out the Twitch channel and check out the YouTube channel. So if you're watching this right now on YouTube, go over to, let me drop it in the chat right here. Let me go grab our Twitch channel. Drop that in the chat if you're watching this in the future. We are getting Brian Inception right here. Please use a keyframe sequence. Wonder what that means. Well, doing new things, running into new who knows what issues. But if you're here, then we're going to start doing some learning. There's the Twitch in the chat. If you're watching this in future, look over the side. Step 1, just drop the Twitch in the chat. But with that, we can, let's change this. Oh, I think I moved the camera. Never move the camera. So with this, we can start talking about either some coding or, hey, Ahood, good to see you here. We got Twitch going too right now, but stay right here if you want. I want to start doing more like YouTube, also Twitch streams. So good to see you. What are you working on? What questions do you have? Feel free to say, hey, I'm working on this. Your call. You're here. You get the student questions. So go ahead and, hey, what's up, Mohammed? So good to have you both here. I love Mohammed. I love it. I love it. Yes. And Sean, assignment 2. Oh, shall we start some assignment 2 for 320? I've got my morning drink right here. See, it's 11 a.m. in Knoxville. I almost said 11 p.m. I almost said 11 p.m. I think we have one viewer. Oh, we have 2 viewers on Twitch. Whoa. What's up, Twitch? How you doing? Yes, please. Oh, then we shall start assignment number 2. 2 seconds here as I get assignment 2 started. Be asking questions, be saying hey to people in chat, wishing them a good morning. That's what we do. Oh, Mewbot's not even awake. For those on Twitch, you might be wondering, what is Mewbot? Well, Mewbot is our friendly bot in the chat. Everyone loves Mewbot. And oh, if you're on Twitch, I don't think you can talk to Mewbot. Mewbot has not joined Twitch yet. I don't even know if Mewbot can join Twitch. The way I had to do the connections, Mewbot might not even be able to go to Twitch. Mewbot just might exist on YouTube. Mewbot only knows YouTube. So I'm getting the assignment. Mewbot is awake now, so we can talk to Mewbot. Mewbot needs its counter going on. And there we go. Mewbot's awake. Okay, I am loading up the assignment as we're talking right here. So we'll look through some of the assignment. Really good chance to start the assignment and, get working on it with for loops. Yes, for loops. For loops are the best. And I really mean that. So give me 2 seconds right here. I'm going to hop and look at the chat real quick. So when is it due? I thought all assignments would be due on Thursday. Did I not put it to Thursday? Did I not change it? 2 seconds. Haha. Ha. It's due on Thursday, right? Is it not? Am I going mad? Mohammed, it's due on Thursday, right? And then we can do we'll do 474 next. Sean, definitely. You got it, Sean. Ahood, is it not due on Thursday? Am I going crazy here? Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I think it is due on next Thursday. So let's get the assignment going on right here. And let's see. Okay, let's pull up that assignment. I've got a new orientation to the screen, so it's because I've got the dual screen. Do you guys want me to go full screen, or do you want me to stay here with the assignment behind me? Your guys' call in the chat right now. It's due Wednesday? Did I put it due Wednesday? Let me double check this. I think I did because I was doing it last night, and I forget that I'm in Texas. Wait, that's Thursday. It's September 10th, right? September 10th is Thursday. Or is it due my time? Correct me. Sorry, I'll look into this. Sorry, Mohammed, I'm very confused. You're wrong. Okay, good. Mohammed, I was so confused. I was like, wait, what? Is this April Fool's, Mohammed? Are you messing with me? I like 100 points, Mohammed, right there. And Ahood, and everyone for being here, 100 points. So with this right here, let's take a look. Thursday, good. It is due Thursday. we need to talk over a little bit about the idea of for loops, and then Sean, we can definitely do some 474 and tune in later today. I always want the Kahoots to be as big as we can make them. If we have few people at the Kahoot, that's more likely to be the winner. And Mewbot is accepting quotes from the top 3. You can suggest a quote. Oh, yeah. Oh, so sorry. Wait, Mewbot, don't be mean like that. Sorry, it's a random quote whenever I do this. So Mewbot's just saying random quotes right there. Mewbot, okay, good. We understand Mewbot. So yeah, if you do exclamation mark quote, random quotes from Mewbot, and it has a cooldown of 5 seconds, so you have to wait 5 seconds to get another. Yeah, there you go, Mewbot. So, and definitely with time zones and stuff, because I'm in. So what time is it right now there, Mohammed? What time is it right now? I guess you're totally flipped. That's gotta be tough. I'm only 1 hour behind, and it makes it tough. And let's take a vote. Vote right now. 6. Oh, that's not. Well, that's good time right now, but I'm sure other things are completely out of sync because that's an 8-hour difference. So, good job keeping up with it. Like, yeah, it's can be tough. What do you think? Should I stay here? Like, yeah, well, no, and I hope everyone can. Yeah, it's crazy with the current world situation. Like, I want everyone to. I wish we could just, because I mean, I know. I'm sorry, Ahood, right there. I want everyone to have to be in the places they want to be in and all that stuff. It's really tough. I mean, your situation. If Saudi Arabia's back home, then I'm really sad that you can't go back. I want to be flying into Knoxville every so often to see my students. And even if I flew into Knoxville, I couldn't see everybody. I can't be like, hey, I'll come to my office. Muhammad will tell you. I think Muhammad was one of the individuals who came to my office like all the time, like in a good way. Like if you ask Muhammad about it, people would come to my office. We'd have 15, 20 students. I swear this thing makes me cough. I'm not sick. But we would have 15, 20 students at my office, sometimes 25, 30 students. We'd fill up 2 cubicles. And so there would just be groups of students working together. And I miss that. And so if I'm at UT, we can't even do that. I might get some water in a second here. I swear I'm not sick. Okay. Let's talk about some for loops. You ready? Let's get serious here. We had our fun, and we're gonna be happy here. We're gonna play some happy music. Oh, we're happy. We got this going on. Let's do this. Let's do some for loops. So this is gonna be a really good introduction lesson for starting out with for loops, for understanding what we're doing, just like the basics. So before we code a for loop, we're just gonna type FOR. Now don't try to write out the whole syntax of a for loop. Don't start like I can type it out like, oh gosh, I don't want to do it. Ready? It's the variable in vector. There we go. Okay, that took way too long. If you do this right here, go and type FOR, and you can use the snippet, which is a shorter version of the code. Like it'll fill in the rest for you. Boom, there you go. And even makes it look nicer. It's got that space there. So don't do what I did first. Don't write it out all by hand. Just type FOR. And if you're in 474, which I know Sean is, whenever I talk about writing functions, I'll say F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere and anytime at all, because all we type is fun. And that's how we get a function. So don't type out the whole for loop thing. Use the snippets. I can write the whole thing out. I'm like, I can write the whole thing out, but I don't. I never write the whole thing out. I just do that. I write for, and then I use the autocomplete. It's way faster. And then I'll feel like I'll make an error if I make a mistake elsewhere. So what we're going to do right here is understand how a for loop works. The very first thing to understand about a for loop is the variable is a placeholder. So the variable right here is just a placeholder, and you can call it anything. I need someone in the chat for 100 points to tell me what to call my variable. We're just going to call it anything. You can literally call it anything. So what are you going to call your variable? It can be called anything. What are the suggestions in the chat to call the variable? It can be called anything. Anything you want. It's just a name. It's just a placeholder. It doesn't matter what you call it. Now we will reference it down below, but just call it anything. Z. Got it. Sean, 100 points right there. Z. That variable, and I'm going to zoom in even more. That variable is now Z. Now, this is an important thing because down here in the code, we can use Z, and Z will change what it is. Like, let's go right here and just put, you know, some names. Let's go here. This kind of hints for the first thing. And let's just put Superdog, and let's put here Ziggy, and let's put here, what came next? Then Tags, makes me sad. Then Shelby, and then Morty. Okay, so let's put this. This is kind of your first question, or it's the second question, sorry. I'm going to put this right here, and I'm just going to put print Z. What will this do right here? What will print Z do? Well, this is how a for loop runs. The first time the for loop runs, it literally does the following. It goes and this first line right here does this. It says save into Z Superdog. And then you know what? And this is an important thing. Sean maybe knows this, having gone through 320. This right here, Sean, I'm going to give you 1,000 points if you know what that is. And I'm going to put that on top of this week. If a 320 knows, they also get 1,000, but Sean's got a huge advantage right here. And here's the hint of what it is. I always talk about it this way. I'm always like, what is this? I'm always like, what is this? I'm like, this thing right here, this thing right here. It's this. It's this right here. What is this? Like after you go through the for loops with me, you'll be like, oh, Brian, it's this. I know what it is. It never does this. This is a huge thing for for loops right here. Like we're practicing for loops. We're learning how, not my arms. I mean, yes, it's part of my arms. Mohammed, you're going to get the points if you have the best guess right now. Why not, Mohammed? You've got the best guess, but who can get it? It's not my arms, but it's related to it, but it's I can't actually touch it. That's a hint. I mean, like it's think of this. Here's a hint. This right here and this is like this. Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm like? This right here is this. And then this right here is this. I can't actually get to it or else I gotta rip through myself. So I call that, I'm not dying, I swear. I call that the skeleton. Mohammed, you got the points. You got them. You earned them. I call that the skeleton. And the skeleton never changes. So that's the big thing you need to know right now. That is the skeleton. And the skeleton, Ahood right there, you get 1,000 also. That's the skeletons, the bones. It never changes. That's the inside of the for loop. Do you see how that's like the inside of the for loop? Like the skeleton, the bones are the inside, and then the outer part we're going to change. We never change the inside of the for loop when it runs. When the for loop is running, this for loop will run how many times? How many times will this for loop run? How many times will this for loop run? As this for loop runs, and it runs each time, how many times will this for loop run? How many times will this for loop run? It's going to go doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. So it's going to go 5 times, Mohammed, right there. You're right. It's going to run 5 times, and every time it runs, it's going to change what Z is to the next item in that vector, and then what will it do every time it changes Z? Every time it changes Z, it'll just do this. Every time it changes Z, it'll just do this. And this is question 2B maybe on your assignment. So we're actually doing the assignment because it's even the names I put in there. Those are the names of my animals. Only one of them's alive. It's really sad times. So what code will run every time this for loop runs? Every time it changes Z, what will it do next? It'll change what Z is, and then what will it do next? And remember, it'll always do this. It'll always do this. This code, my code right here, not like in general. In general, it'll always run the skeleton. So that's the hint right there. It'll print Z. And so here's where people get confused. It's not going to print, like there's a really good thing to change right here. It's not going to print Superdog. Named him when I was like 4 or 5. Named him when we got to Winston-Salem. It's not going to print Superdog. It's going to print what? It's not going to print Superdog. It's going to print what every time it runs. Every time the for loop runs, it's not printing Superdog, then Ziggy, then Tags, then Shelby, then Morty. It's going to print Z. Exactly. Every time it runs, it's printing Z, but this outer part of the for loop right here changes what Z is. So when the for loop goes back to the start panel of it, which is, I call it the control panel sometimes, it then, the next time it runs, is going to store into here that Z is Ziggy. And then the next time it runs, we need, so there we've got it right here. Let's put it a little more full screen. It's going to change it to tags, and then it's going to change it to Shelby, and it's going to change it to Morty. So if you notice right here, does this make sense that every time this runs, it just prints Z? That's what it does. Every time it runs, it prints Z. For loop runs, prints Z. For loop runs, prints Z. So it's continuously doing the same code. So it's important to know this skeleton inside of here does the same thing every time. And we got some really cool examples that go through vectors and stuff like that. Like you can, here we'll do some other examples, and then we'll do one more. So do this right now. We've got the assignment up right now in the background. So go ahead and tell me which number do you want me to work on. So if you've looked at the assignment right now, I will work one of these questions right now to help out. And we've talked about the basics of a for loop, but now go ahead and tell me which one. Hey, Brian, could you explain how to do this one and walk through this one? We can pick one of the really complicated ones. So here's kind of the understanding of what it's doing, creating it into a for loop. That's the, like, putting a for loop back together. Question 1, a very good place to start. When you start assignments, always start with question 1. Okay, we've got the working directory. We got all this good stuff right here. And then we've got the idea of printing your output. Okay, so we've got choose a random number to replace this comment. Oh gosh, what are we going to do? Now here's, well, I guess you could. Don't do that though. I'm not going to do it. So we're just going to choose random number. That's probably a horribly large random number. Let's put it to this. So that's my random number I just did. I just kind of went like this on the keyboard. You don't have to do that, but that's maybe a good way to get randomness. I don't know. We'd have to look at it and analyze it to see if that's a good way to get randomness. But that's our random number. So now this sequence of X right here, you'll notice, has in it your random number in it, and it's just a sequence of X. So this right here is just a vector